Picture Hawaii. You're probably seeing stretches of blinding white sand, a chilled-out ukulele strumming in the background, maybe a Mai Tai in your hand, a fresh flower lei around your neck. Forget it. Strip away the luxury resort pools. Burn the glossy postcards. The real Hawaii isn't some gentle, manicured tropical playground. It is a violent, breathing beast. We're talking about a landmass violently forged by 2,000-degree Fahrenheit liquid fire. A place where brutal blizzards choke mountain peaks over 13,000 feet in the sky. Jagged shores of black volcanic glass actively swallow the Pacific Ocean. You think you know the 50th state? Think again. This is the Hawaii they don't print on the brochures. Let's pull back. Way back. If you look at a satellite feed of the Pacific Ocean, you'll see a whole lot of nothing. Just an endless, terrifying expanse of deep, dark blue. Right in the dead center of it all, sitting a staggering 2,400 miles away from the nearest blinking streetlight of civilization, is a solitary chain of islands. Here's the catch. There is no continental shelf here, no geological safety net. Every single inch of ground you stand on is the blistering tip of a colossal underwater volcano that punched its way through the crushing pressure of the ocean floor. Over the next hour, we are tearing up the tourist map. We are plunging into the deepest smoking craters, scaling the absolute highest peak on planet Earth, surviving the rawest forces of nature, from the radioactive glow of newborn Earth to prehistoric cliffs that drop straight into the abyss. Buckle up. We are heading into uncharted territory. Let's drop right into the belly of the beast. The Big Island. Look at almost any coastline on the globe right now. The story is the same. The ocean is slowly, ruthlessly eating away at the land. The Big Island, it missed the memo. This place isn't shrinking, it is actively, violently fighting back. Strap into a doorless chopper, bank hard over the southeastern coast of Kilauea. Lean out, look straight down. You aren't looking at dirt, you are looking at liquid earth. Rivers of 2,000-degree Fahrenheit molten rock bleed from the crust, crawling across the blackened landscape like glowing radioactive veins. They push relentlessly toward the Pacific. When that liquid fire finally slams into the ocean, it is pure, unadulterated chaos. Massive plumes of acidic steam, laced with microscopic glass, explode hundreds of feet into the sky. The salt water literally boils. The lava shatters upon impact, instantly flash cooling into razor-sharp black glass, fresh volcanic sand. Right there, with sulfur stinging your eyes, you are watching the raw birth of a new planet in real time. Since the 1980s alone, Kilauea has aggressively paved over the ocean, adding hundreds of acres of brand new, untouched real estate to the map. It's writing its own geography, inch by glowing inch. To truly understand the scale of this island, we have to leave the fire, plunge into the abyss. Every kid in America grows up learning one undisputed geographical fact. Mount Everest is the roof of the world. What if the textbooks got it wrong? Drop a pin right here in the Pacific. Sink beneath the waves, down into the crushing, pitch-black abyss of the ocean floor. Here, rooted in the dark, sits the base of a sleeping giant, Mauna Kea. Start climbing. You rise through nearly 20,000 feet of salt water before you even break the surface. This titan doesn't stop at sea level. It punches straight through the clouds, towering another 13,800 feet into the thin, freezing atmosphere. From its hidden base to its summit, this Hawaiian shield volcano stands at a staggering 33,500 feet. That is nearly a full mile taller than Everest. When you drive up the twisting roads of the Big Island, you are scaling the absolute tallest mountain on planet Earth. Down at sea level, you're sweating in 85-degree humidity. Surfers are carving up the swells. The heavy air smells like sea salt, wild orchids. Throw your 4x4 into gear. Head just 2 hours inland. You are stepping into a brutal sub-zero wasteland. Welcome to the summit of Mauna Kea in the dead of winter. It's a geographical paradox that completely fries your brain. You are anchored right in the tropical navel of the Pacific Ocean, yet your boots are crunching through blinding white snowdrifts. The wind chill tearing across this jagged peak routinely plummets below zero. It's like someone ripped a frozen chunk of the Alaskan tundra, slammed it directly on top of a bubbling cauldron of magma. You can literally pack a snowball, toss it in the back of your Jeep, drive down to watch it melt in the sweltering Pacific surf. If you think the snow is strange, wait until you cross over to its neighbor, Mauna Loa. You can trace the globe looking for extraterrestrial landscapes. Nothing prepares you for this. Drive up the upper slopes. The vibrant greens of the tropics just vanish. The air thins out. The soil turns to a rust-red, charcoal-gray dust, littered with sharp volcanic cinder. There are no trees, no birds, absolute deafening silence. You haven't just left the beach, you've left Earth. NASA didn't come here for a vacation. Back in the Apollo days, again for the upcoming Artemis missions, the space agency sent their astronauts to these exact lava fields to train. Why? Because the jagged, unforgiving basalt rocks up here are a near-perfect chemical, physical match to the lunar surface. When you crunch your boots into this pumice, you are test driving the moon. It is the ultimate cosmic simulation, hiding in plain sight on a tropical island. We leave the cosmic void of the Big Island, head northwest. The ash fades. The world explodes into a violent, prehistoric green. Welcome to Kauai. They call it the Garden Isle. That sounds far too gentle. This is a fortress. Fly over the Na Pali Coast. There are no roads here, no paved lookouts, just razor-sharp emerald spires towering 4,000 feet into the sky, dropping like shattered glass straight into the churning Pacific. Thick, heavy fog constantly swallows the ancient rainforest canopy. If you expect a T-Rex to come crashing through the massive ferns, you aren't the only one. Hollywood has literally used these exact valleys to film every Jurassic movie for a reason. Fly just a few miles inland, the jungle abruptly cracks wide open. This is Waimea Canyon, 10 miles long, thousands of feet deep. The dirt here isn't brown. It is a bleeding, vibrant rust red, carved out by catastrophic floods millions of years ago. Mark Twain famously dubbed it the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. Standing on the rim, feeling the heavy updraft hit your chest, you realize he wasn't exaggerating. Now, wipe the green from your mind. It's 3 a.m. on the island of Maui. It is pitch black. You are gripping the steering wheel, grinding your way up an endless, invisible mountain road with no streetlights. You park the car. You step out into the freezing thin air at 10,023 feet. The silence up here is absolute. It's heavy. You wait. Then it happens. The sun cracks over the horizon, violently, setting the clouds on fire. As the light spills downward, it reveals where you are actually standing. You are looking down into the Haleakala crater, a dormant volcanic depression so unimaginably massive you could drop the entire island of Manhattan inside of it. Still have room left over for Central Park. It is a terrifyingly quiet sea of deep red cinder cones, black sand. For a moment, you forget you are in Hawaii. You are standing on Mars. Look closer at that red Martian dirt on Haleakala. You aren't entirely alone up here. Clinging to the frozen cinder is something that looks like it was planted by an alien race. The Haleakala Silversword. It sits up here, battered by sub-zero winds, punishing UV rays, patiently waiting. For up to 50 years, it does nothing but gather energy. Then, just once in its entire life, it violently erupts into a massive 6-foot stalk of hundreds of purple flowers. The moment it finishes blooming, it drops dead, right on the ash. It is the ultimate one-hit wonder of the botanical world. It grows absolutely nowhere else in the universe. The real giants of this ecosystem don't live in the sky. They live in the dark. Fast forward to midnight, off the coast of Kona. You step off the back of a boat into the pitch-black Pacific. You shine a dive light straight down into the abyss. You hold your breath. Out of the gloom, they appear. Manta rays. Not just a few, dozens of them. With wingspans stretching 16 feet across, wider than a mid-size SUV. They glide through the water like silent, glowing motherships. They barrel roll through the beams of light, sucking up plankton, missing your dive mask by absolute inches. You don't just see them, you feel the physical water pressure shift as pure, graceful muscle flies past your chest. Come winter, those waters get even heavier. In the shallow basin of Maui Nui, the ocean literally vibrates. You hear the deep, echoing groans in your chest before you ever see them. Then, the surface violently splits open. An 80,000-pound humpback whale launches its entire school bus-sized body out of the ocean. It hangs suspended in the air for a fraction of a second before slamming back down. The impact sounds like a literal cannon shot, sending a shockwave of salt water 100 feet across the surface. This isn't an aquarium. This is the rawest, wildest migration corridor on the planet, playing out right in your line of sight. Let's talk about how you actually experience this place. Most folks fly into Honolulu, drop their bags at a manicured mega resort in Waikiki, never leave the pavement. Don't be that guy. Rent a truck, drive straight to Oahu's North Shore. Do it in January. You feel it before you even see it. The sand beneath your boots is literally vibrating. You are standing at the Banzai pipeline, watching 30-foot liquid mountains moving with the mass of a runaway freight train fold over, violently detonate onto a razor-sharp coral reef in just 3 feet of water. The saltwater spray hits your face like a shotgun blast. The noise is deafening. This isn't a lazy day at the beach. You are standing on the edge of a gladiatorial arena, watching the ocean try to tear the coastline apart. Now, if you want to truly earn your stripes, grab a 40-pound pack, book a flight back to Kauai. Forget the luxury helicopter tours. We are hiking the Kalalau Trail. 11 miles of pure, unadulterated punishment. You are inching along a slick, muddy goat path carved into a vertical cliff face. There are no guardrails here, no warning signs. To your left, an unforgiving wall of wet rock. To your right, a 300-foot sheer drop straight into the churning, shark-filled Pacific. One misplaced boot on the wet clay, you belong to the ocean. It breaks you down. When you finally clear that last ridge, wiping the red dirt from your eyes, step onto a pristine, completely isolated beach that no road can ever reach. You realize the truth. You didn't just buy a ticket to Hawaii. You earned it. Liquid fire detonating into the ocean. 80,000-pound leviathans shattering the water's surface. Sub-zero blizzards choking tropical summits. Sheer emerald cliffs violently swallowing the Pacific. You can pave the highways. You can build the 5-star resorts, serve the umbrella drinks by the pool. Make no mistake, you cannot tame Hawaii. It is a living, breathing, untamed entity. The world's map is still being aggressively drawn, right here, inch by glowing inch, by the rawest forces of nature. You don't conquer these islands. You are simply lucky enough that they allow you to witness them. So, the next time you book a ticket, look past the manicured beach chairs. Look up at the jagged, frozen peaks. Look down into the smoking craters. That is the real Hawaii. Wild, unforgiving, absolutely glorious. Join our crew as we continue to uncover the most extraordinary places on Earth in the next video.